Hey guys, welcome to another video. This week is my Christmas craft special. So I've got 3 Christmas crafts. This first craft just uses pipe cleaners to make simple candy cane ornaments. And for these you just twist red and white pipe cleaners together. You can switch up the colors and just make them the shape of a candy cane. For these I did cut the pipe cleaners in half, that way I had smaller candy canes. And like I said about switching up the colors, for these candy canes I did also decide to make one that was red, white, and green. And to add a little bit more embellishment to these, I did make some bows out of silver pipe cleaners. And instead of twisting them onto the candy canes, I used some hot glue to attach the bow. And for my next craft, I'm going to make a wreath. I'm going to use this foam wreath form and some of my scrap felt in green, red, and white. And with the felt scraps, I'm just going to cut these into rectangular strips that fit around the wreath form and hot glue those on. And while I'm doing this, I'm just using pieces that I know are big enough to fit around the wreath, and alternating colors as needed based on the scraps that I have. And I should really be doing this more often with my craft supplies, especially with all of the different crafts that I've been doing. I've been collecting a bunch of scrap supplies that I really have no use for, and I should just be coming up with ways to use those pieces so that I don't run out of space to organize everything. So at least this cuts down the amount of scrap felt that I've been holding on to, and also uses up one of the wreath forms that I had collected from another craft project. So I'm just slowly piecing everything together, finding out which pieces of the felt I can use that will fit in each spot. And I'm using one of the bows that I made using a template from my first Christmas craft special, which I'll link up in the top corner. And I'm actually going to use the candy canes that I just made to decorate this wreath too. And moving on to the last craft, this is actually a modified template from my mini paper donkey piñata craft video, which I'll link in the top corner, and also I'll link this reindeer template down in the description. So I'm just cutting out this template, making sure to keep all of the tabs attached. Then I'm going to fold all of the tabs and all of the pieces that need to be folded to create the reindeer shape. And I'm actually going to use hot glue to glue this all together. Normally I would use something more like a liquid clear glue that takes longer to dry, but I was kind of in a rush when I was making this, and I thought that hot glue would be fine, especially because I'm using cardstock for this. I just wanted something that was going to dry pretty quickly and hold up pretty well, especially since this reindeer is intended to be an ornament. Really, the only main drawback to using hot glue is, first of all, that it's hot, but besides that, it makes an awful mess, and I was definitely covered in hot glue by the end of this. And finally, with having that template together, it's time to move on to the rest of the template, which are the antlers, which I need to cut out 2 of. And I also need to fold and hot glue the tail onto the back here, just overlapping those 2 tabs to create the shape of a small tail. And while I'm at it, I'm also going to glue on some googly eyes and a small white pom-pom for a nose. And then I'm just going to color in the antlers with a silver metallic marker. just so that they stand out against the brown of the rest of the reindeer. Then with those glued on, I'm going to use some ribbon to create the reins and just hot glue those on as well. And I'm leaving the last bit of the reins longer, that way it can act as the string to hang the ornament from. And that'll wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week.